In part 1 of this two-part series, we tested ICICI Bank's homepage with automated tools and keyboard-only navigation. The results were not that great. But now it's time for the ultimate accessibility test. Real screen reader navigation with NVDA. Will the homepage pass the test or collapse under the weight of real-world accessibility needs? Honestly, I'm not feeling too optimistic. Now you might be thinking, Param, why do we even need screen reader testing? Did not automated tools and keyboard checks cover it all? Well, here's the truth. Automated tools catch up to 30% of the accessibility issues depending upon the complexity of the application. And keyboard-only testing, that's only helpful for people who can see the screen but rely only on a keyboard. But what about someone with no vision at all? How would you know if your ARIA label is actually being announced? You would not unless you test it with a screen reader. And that's why this test is most important. And if you're wondering what is the right accessibility testing routine, watch this full video. It will help you level up your skills and find bugs most testers miss. So the big question, will NVDA glide through ICICI's homepage or will it uncover barriers that others checks miss? NVDA stands for Non-Visual Desktop Access. It's a free screen reader that lets blind or visually impaired users hear everything on the screen. And if you're wondering how it is compared to JAWS, check out my other video on NVDA versus JAWS. Here's what we are testing today. Heading structures, landmark regions, skip navigation, all text to images, link purpose, form accessibility, and any keyboard traps with screen reader on. Now step 1 is to download NVDA from nvaccess.org. I will put the link in the description. And step 2 is to turn on the text viewer so we can see exactly what is being announced. This is super helpful for both developers and testers to double check that they are listening the right thing. So this is the ICICI homepage that we are going to test using the NVDA screen reader. So first thing first, let's turn on a screen reader. Let's go to NVDA, press enter.
Loading NVDA. Please wait. Taskbar. Running. Remote.
Now if you don't know how to turn on the speech viewer, go to your NVDA from the system settings. Right click.
NVDA. NVDA.
Go to tools
menu.
And check this box which says speech viewer. The moment you do it, you will start seeing a text box like the notepad usually we see in the older notepad versions. It will write everything that is being announced by NVDA. Now let's put this on the right side. And I'm going to refresh the ICICI website so that we can start listening on how a screen reader will have a listen when this website is loaded for the first time. Let me reload.
ICICI Bank, Personal, Business, Corporate and NRI Banking Online, Google Chrome, Parampreet, King. ICICI Bank, Personal, Business, Corporate and NRI Banking Online. Banner landmark link header main logo. Heading level 1 truth, trust, transparency. List with 6 items link graphic accounts.
So as you just saw and heard, it's reading the entire content from the beginning of this website. Now this is happening because by default, your screen readers are in the browse all mode. Be it NVDA, be it JAWS, be it VoiceOver. They start with the browse only mode, which means they will read everything to you unless you press Control key on your keyboard. NVDA and JAWS reads out how many regions are there on the page, how many lists are there on the page, how many headings do you have, and how many links are there on the page. This is helpful for a screen reader user to understand the entire structure of your page. Now, if you have seen my videos, we always start with the structure of the page to better understand how my page is structured. And to do that, I will be pressing D as in Denmark, to jump from one landmark to another. And this is only for NVDA. So let's go ahead and press D.
Banner landmark header main logo graphic header main logo link.
So it's identifying the banner, which is the top region of this ICICI Bank website. It says banner landmark header main logo graphic header main logo link. Now this is fine, it's able to identify it as a region or a landmark, but look at the alt text for the graphic. It should have used ICICI Bank logo rather than saying main logo. Let's continue pressing D.
Main navigation landmark list with 3 items personal button.
When I pressed D again, it says navigation landmark list with 3 items, and then it says personal button. And I believe that's the first button that you see, which is having an underline. Let's continue pressing D.
Secondary links navigation landmark list with 5 items iShop link.
They have divided their top navigation into different regions. For personal, NRI, and business, they are saying as the main navigation. For the secondary, which is starting from iShop, and I believe it goes up to the phone number, it says secondary navigation landmark list with 5 items. So iShop, resources, about, help, and complaints. I believe it's going up till complaints. Let's press D again.
NAV icons navigation landmark list with 5 items phone icon graphic.
And then they have another region and they called it as navigation icons. It's going from your phone number, AI button, the search button that you see, heart icons, the personal profile, your drop down from selecting the country. Let me press D again.
Content info landmark ICICI footer logo link.
And then it directly jumps to the footer section. But it missed the main landmark using the main tag. So that's our issue number 1. They are missing the main tag on this page. Let's press D one more time.
Customer service region list with 11 items contact us link.
Now they are using regions for the specific sections within the footer. Your customer service is grouped into one region. Let me press D again.
ICICI Bank Group websites region list with 9 items ICICI Foundation link.
And similarly, it's doing for the other sections within the footer section.
Items Safe Banking link. Explore region list with 7 items interest rates link.
Let's press D one more time.
Other region list with 10 items career opportunities.
I believe they're gonna do for all the sections within the footer. Let me confirm that.
Ways to bank region list with 8 items. Investor Center region list with 5. About US region list with 5. Calculators region list with 11 items. Fixed deposit. No next landmark.
And finally, at the bottom of the page where there are no landmarks, it says no next landmark. And if you want to go back to the previous landmark, you have to do Shift and D.
About US region list with 5 items.
This is how you can move backwards in terms of the regions that you want to go back to. If we were testing with JAWS, you could have pressed Q to go to the main section of the page, to go to the top of the page. Now, if you want to go to the top of the page, the easiest way is to find the main heading. That's your H1. So the key element is to press Shift, H, and 1.
Trust. Transparency.
The moment I did that, it took me from the bottom of the page to the top of the page, because usually at the top is where you find the main heading H1. Now, if I press Tab, where should my focus go? Right now, we are on the first heading. When coded correctly, your focus must go to the next visible and actionable element after the heading. So I'm going to press Tab.
List with 6 items. Accounts graphic. Accounts link.
It's went to the accounts graphic, which I believe are these buttons. So it said, as it said, there are 6 items. So it says list with 6 items, accounts graphic. However, it missed the search text box. That's our violation number 2. The focus is not logical. It should follow the visual and the logical order of the elements. For now, I'm going to press H because we are jumping from one heading to another. Let's press H.
Clickable SAP Euro credit card heading level 2.
Now this is coming for the carousel that they have. Under the offers for you, they have cards and they have given H2 to the Sapphire credit card. I'm going to press H again.
Personal loan heading level 2.
It's going to the personal loan card. Now I'm going to try the same thing. Try to put focus on the apply button by pressing the tab key. Let's see what happens.
Apply link.
The focus is going to the apply link. However, do you see any visual or an enhanced focus indicator? That's another violation with this website. Let's continue by pressing H.
Clickable dine with UPI heading level 2.
Now this is for the Dine with UPI carousel on the right side. If you have watched my previous video, we spoke about the continuous movement of this carousel with no ability to pause, stop, or hide this carousel. That's another violation. Because as the carousel is moving, there is no indication to a screen reader user that some changes are happening on the page. They should have used, I would say, they must have used ARIA Live regions to announce what is being displayed in the new carousels. Similarly, you can go through the entire page by pressing H keyboard to jump from one heading to another and see what happens when you press tab to continue reading in that section and explore what actionable elements are part of that section. Now let's go back to the top of the page. I'm going to do Shift H and 1. And from this point onwards, I'm going to press Shift Tab because I want to explore how these buttons are being coded, what is being announced by NVDA to a screen reader user. So I'm going to do Shift Tab.
Banner landmark clickable login button collapse.
It is announcing banner landmark because that's part of the header section, and then says clickable login button. So accessible name is being read out correctly. It says login button and it says collapse. So it is announcing the state as well. So if I press enter on this,
expanded.
Well, they have implemented ARIA attribute which says expanded, which is a good indication that this has a drop down and a user can interact with this section. Let me put NVDA in the middle.
Show speech viewer.
Now I'm gonna press tab to go into the submenu that has been in the expanded state.
Log into internet banking link.
It says login to internet banking link. And then if I tab again,
list with 6 items personal link.
It announces it's a list of 6 items and that announces the accessible name for the first link.
NRI banking link. Corporate link. Commercial card link. Money to world link. Money to India link.
So they have a very good accessible names, I would say. Let's do Shift Tab. Just to clarify, is this a heading or really a link? Let's see what happens when I press enter on this.
ICICI Bank. Personal, business, corporate and NRI banking online. Banner landmark link header main logo.
To me, it's the same page, right? So there's no point of making that as a link. It should have been a regular heading. So that's something that they should have removed. Now let's go back to the heading to go back to the login button. And I'm gonna let's go to the top of the page. Let's see if they have implemented skip links or not.
And click save main and personal header main old version link toolbar. Bookmark this search Bookmark this tab button.
So right now I'm in the Chrome's region, which is the bookmark button. I'm going to press tab to come inside of this website. Let's press tab.
ICICI Bank, personal, business,
And again, tab again.
landmark.
So there is no skip links provided on this website. And that's another violation. Think about a person who is visually blind. They have to go through the entire top navigation again and again. If they would have provided skip to main navigation, they could have skipped the entire top navigation. And that's what makes a good website user friendly. Now let's listen what alt text they have given to the ICICI Bank.
Landmark, header, main logo, graphic, header, main logo link.
So it's saying main logo link, but if I'm having multiple websites open, it would be challenging for me to which main logo it's talking about. So it's always required to be very specific. Call it out explicitly. Say ICICI Bank logo, go to homepage. That's what me, with my years of experience as an accessibility expert, would give the alt text to this image. Let's tab again.
Main navigation landmark list with 3 items, personal button collapse.
It's announcing right. It says personal button and collapse. If I press enter, let's see what happens.
Expanded.
It says expanded, and yes, rightly so. The section is expanded and we have more details.
Personal link.
Again, headings are marked as links, which are unnecessary. Let's tab again.
List with 8 items, clickable accounts link.
And then they are again having accounts which is clickable. To me, this is more of a section heading. They shouldn't be made clickable.
List with 2 items, savings account link. Salary account link. View all accounts link.
I'm gonna do shift. Let's continue tabbing and see what happens.
NVDA, car loan. NVDA, car loan. Personal, truth, saving, edit, read only, multi-line. ICICI, list with 8 items. View all, list with savings account in. Apply now link. Clickable to click.
So it's going through all the links in this section.
Close button.
This is what I wanted to test. What is the accessible name for this close button? And they are saying close, which is fine. Let's see what happens when I press enter on this.
Personal button collapse.
It says personal button collapse. So it took me to the element which triggered this submenu in the first place. So that's rightly coded. Now, the only issue that I see is I don't know where my focus is. They are using an underline, but that's not that evident to me as a person who's looking at the page. Let's press tab again.
NRI button collapse.
This is what I am more interested in. They have a clear box around what is my element in the current focus. It says NRI button collapsed again, which gives an indication that there will be a submenu.
Expand.
I pressed enter to expand it. Let's try pressing the escape key and nothing happens. So they have missed out on using the escape keyboard key to stop or to collapse the expanded section. Now the only way for me to do is if I go into the system, go through all the tabbing, and let's try escaping again here. No, nothing happens. Tab, 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 go to the close button and close.
NRI button collapse.
And that's the only way for me to close the submenu. And did you notice my focus, the underline that they have, is now again moved back to the personal, even though I was on the NRI,
Button collapse.
right? And the NRI was not highlighted when I closed the submenu. So this is the same kind of test that I would do for all the main menu sections on that at the top. The next thing that we will do is to press G as in graphic, to see what alt text they have used on this website. I'm going to press G.
NVDA icons navigation landmark list with 5 items, phone icon graphic.
So it's talking about the first section at the top menu header. I'm going to press G again.
Full graphic link. Full graphic link. Chat graphic link.
They have  which it's calling IPL. That's for the marquee that you see besides the phone number within the model header. That's the icon that you see besides the menu header. I'm going to press G again.
Clickable flag graphic button collapsed.
That says clickable flag graphic button collapsed. So they are using this as a button instead of a regular drop down. I'm going to press G again.
List with 6 items accounts graphic link.
It's talking about the icons on the left side. I'm going to press G again.
Graphic button. Loans graphic button. Deposits graphic link.
This is interesting. Let's go to this section.
Truth.
I'm going to press tab.
Investment graphic investment button.
So this is why I said it is interesting to test, because you already have text which says investment. In that situation, the icon that they have used could be marked as decorative. And that's why I wanted to specifically test it out. So if you have a graphic accompanied by a text that is self-explanatory, you are not required to give a meaningful alt text. You can use decorative, giving alt equals to empty. Now that we have covered the graphics, let's go ahead and test for the links. And for links, you have U for unvisited link shortcut, and then you have V for visited link. Let's begin by pressing the U.
List with 6 items get support 1800 1080 link. Clickable apply link. Details link. Apply link. Details link. Apply link. Details link. Clickable credit cards graphic link.
Now, as you just heard, it says details link, apply link, details link, apply link, details link. So it's repeating itself thrice. So maybe it's because of the marquee that they have besides the phone number. And this is your job to investigate what's wrong there. Put it in the comments and help me understand what is causing this issue. Is it because they have multiple links that are scrolling through in a marquee fashion? Put it in the comment your observations. And for the visited links, it's V as in victory. I'm going to press V now.
No next visited link.
Which means we have not visited any of the links so far. Next, let's test for the form accessibility. And to test that, let's go to the login. I'm going to select personal banking just to test how their form validations or form input fields are behaving. Let's put NVDA speech reviewer on the left side. Now that our page has finally loaded, I'm going to press D to jump to that region if it is coded as a region. So let's have a listen.
Content info landmark terms and
no, that's not in a region.
No next landmark.
I'm going to do Shift D to double check.
No previous landmark. Content info landmark terms and conditions.
Let's go back to the top of the page. Shift H1.
Previous heading at level 1.
No. The only way for me to navigate to this section is by pressing Tab key. Let's do that.
List S X Corp Gift City link. Clickable FD list with 3 items.
Well,
clickable FD.
This section is not in the tabbing order. I'm gonna put this in the middle or on the right side. I'm gonna click in the top left section.
Log into
I'm gonna start tabbing again so that you can have a look again.
Banner landmark navigation.
It's on the personal link.
List with 5 items. Privilege link. Wealth link.
I don't know where it is.
Bill Nile link. Exclusive off. NRI link.
So after multiple tabs, I'm able to reach the NRI tab. So those elements like privilege, wealth, private, millennial, exclusive offers, I believe they are within the personal one. And that's your task number 2. Find what's causing this issue and put it in the comments. Let's continue tabbing.
List with 2 items.
Again, because business might be having sub-menu, it's reading out all those. And our rule number 1 is only the visible and actionable elements must be in the tabbing order. And this is a failure.
Corporate link. Gift City link. Clickable FD unlabeled graphic button.
I don't know where that is.
FD unlabeled graphic button. List with.
So, as you saw, it skipped the top navigation's login to internet banking buttons, and it took me to the link which is login to iWish. So these elements, this input type, text, and the password, along with this entire form, I would say, is not in the tabbing order, and that's one of the biggest violations that we have seen so far. To test it, I'm going to use my pointer and click on this.
User ID edit blank.
It says user ID edit blank. Let's type in something. Press tab.
Password edit protected blank.
Now it's going into the next input field when I did tab. Let's do some.
Start.
I'm going to do this thing.
Start.
Press tab.
Clickable dashboard.
Now it skipped a couple of things. The view password button, the icon that you see, the eye icon, it's not in the tabbing order, and the virtual keyboard that they have provided, this one, was not in the tabbing order. And that's a failure, because if I'm depending on these two things, and if I have to confirm what password I've given, there's no way for a keyboard and a screen reader user to know that these elements exist in the first place. Let me do shift tab.
Password.
Tab again.
Clickable dashboard.
It says clickable dashboard. Ideally, it should have been a list or a combo box. Let's press down arrow key.
Blank.
And nothing happens.
Clickable dashboard. Blank. Clickable
Because that's not coded as a regular drop down. Let's press enter key.
List with 10 items dashboard.
It expands. But does it say it's expanded? It does not.
Link bank account. Link bill payment. Link fund transfer. Recharge link. Remember user ID. Click list with.
I tried doing the
link bank account.
tab thing, but the focus is not moving. Let's select bill payment.
Log into internet banking document. Out of list clickable bill payment.
At least it says bill payment, but it is not announcing start in a label. Let's have a listen again. I'm going to shift tab.
Clickable bill payment.
It says clickable bill payment, but it doesn't say start in, which is the associated label and other violations at the form level. Let's continue tabbing.
Remember user ID checkbox not checked.
This is fine.
Login button login.
Again, the enhanced visual focus indicator is missing, but that's okay for now. It's a violation. I said it's okay for now, but still it's a violation. I'm going to press enter to see if there are any validations that are getting displayed.
Infinity.icicibank.com says dialog. Please enter your password. OK button 1 of 1.
So they have used a model, a system model that says please enter your password, and they put my focus on the OK button, which is fine, which is what we want. I'm going to press enter on OK, and what should happen? Your focus must move to the password input field. It should announce it's invalid and gives us the indication on how to fix it.
Password edit protected blank.
So one thing happened. It took my focus back to the password field, but it did not announce whether it had an error or not. And to do that is to use aria invalid equals to true. Let's continue tabbing.
Remember user ID. Login button login. User ID edit at click log user.
Now my focus is trapped within the login to internet banking section. I'm tabbing through.
Login button login.
After login, my focus is not going to trouble logging in link, or it's not going to log in with QR code. So I'm trapped within this section. And that's the keyboard traps that I was talking about. They have keyboard traps on their login page. Now, as we saw, they have issues with the form accessibility. They have keyboard traps for this login forms. They are missing regions. They don't have main region on this page. Graphics, they can be more meaningful. So overall, I would say I'm disappointed with how NVDA has behaved on this website. ICICI could have done a better job with this. ICICI is one of the biggest banks in the country, and they have the resources, the reach, and the responsibility. But from what we have seen here, it feels like screen reader users were even not considered. Maybe the audit never happened, or worse, someone just ticked the box. And that's just not okay. But here's the hope. This can be fixed by using semantic HTML tags, by labeling elements properly, and by testing with real assistive technologies like NVDA. Because accessibility is not about doing extra, it's about doing what's right. So if you know someone at ICICI Bank, please share this with them. Let's make sure these issues are addressed at the earliest. Here's your challenge of the week. Install and run NVDA. Try navigating your bank's homepage and then comment below what shocked you the most. Or tag your bank. Maybe they need to see this. If you learned something today, like, comment, and share this video. Send it to your developers, your designers, and your managers. Subscribe for more real-world accessibility tests. And if you want me to test your website, drop the URL in the comments. Let's work together to build a web that works for everyone. This is Param Singh, signing off.